At that point, I remember thinking, unfreaking believable. Like, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If it's your first time here, go ahead and like and turn on your notification bell so that you are officially a part of my journey. If this isn't your first time here, thank you so much for tuning in. Alright guys, so as you can tell by the title, I'm officially ready to tell you guys more about how the military saved my life, hopefully without interruptions. So for me, the military was a gift and a curse. Are we doing this? And I'm back. Alright guys, so like I was saying, for me the military was a gift and a curse. I joined because I wanted to travel while getting paid. Unfortunately, that's not how things went. But anyway, that's not why you are here. Let's get into the tea. How the military saved my life. Alright, so we're gonna start off this video by talking about a little bit about my ex. I was dating this guy for 8 years. I don't even know if we were like really dating. Like, now that I think about it, it's because we were like on and off so much. Like, I wouldn't even consider that like a relationship that we were in. It was like we vibed well, everything was good, but there were times when this dude would like disappear for like months and I wouldn't hear from him. Maria, have kids, they say. Just kidding. Yeah, there were times where this dude would disappear for like months and I would be like worried sick calling him, and then he'll call me and he'll rush me off the phone. Like, this dude was in, I don't even know how many other different relationships he was in, but he was in other relationships while we were together. And who are you calling? And he even had a child while we were together. Now, a lot of people will look at me and think she don't look like the type that has been through the things that she's about to say she's been through. Well, guess what? It happened. And Mari, I'm trying to record here. And the things that I have been through can literally happen to anyone. I was the type of person that would say, oh, that would never happen to me. Like, if that happened to me, I would do yada yada yada. I wouldn't stand for it, but like, it happened to me and I allowed it to keep happening. And that's one of the things that I have gained from that relationship, was that the things that you allow people to do, they will continue to do it. Believe that. Alright, so I was dating this dude. We were together for 8 years. I ended up joining the military, and like, things kind of went south, east, west, north, south, whatever you want to call it. It just went left. Alright, so when I joined the military, we were going through things and I was kind of over him. So I don't want to even say like we were together, but we ended up like communicating after boot camp. We ended up communicating a lot after boot camp, and we got back together. Like, things started like started flowing, like we were back into a normal relationship, and like we would talk all the time, text. He would come down to see me, and it was great. Like, it was like when we first met, like we had a great connection. Like, we had so much fun together, and then I don't even know when things went east, west, north, south, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so he would come down to see me, and we would like hang out for like the weekends and whatever. We would do things that a couples would do. So it came to a point where I don't even know exactly how things happened. Oh, I remember there was a time when there was a friend that I had that I met in the military. There was an associate that I had that I met in the military. Like, she was on restriction, and restriction is where that person cannot leave the boat. So she asked me to move her car and put it in a safe place because she was parked in like the Navy Exchange. You guys might not know what it is, or she was parked in a parking lot and she couldn't stay there for too long, so she gave me her keys and she asked me to like move her car. So I moved it and then put it in the complex where I was staying. Why did I do that? That triggered something in this man, in this boy. He saw the keys in my apartment. We got into it physically, and of course I'm gonna defend myself. Like, I'm from New York, I'm Jamaican, I'm not gonna take nobody's hit. Like, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you. And I was always taught, if somebody put their hands on you, you lay hands on them. And so we fought, and that was like the, I'm not gonna say the first time things got physical, but that was the first time things got to the point where cops was involved. I ended up calling the cops that night. My roommate, she was like terrified at the time, and it was just such a bad situation where I was just like, I am completely done with this situation. I'm like, I cannot live my life like this, because for one, it wasn't the first time that things got physical. I kept giving him chances after chances after chances after chances. We had that fight, and then we ended up fighting so many other times after that. Mari, can you go close the door? Thank you. He's such a sport. Look at him. Yay! Thank you, Daddy. All right, so the fight that made me feel like, now be quiet. Can you do that? Can you shh? Huh? So the fight that we had that had me feeling that the military actually saved me was when I went up on, I can't remember if I was on leave or if I just went home for the weekend. Let's just say I went home for the weekend, because it was, I think it was like over the weekend that this happened. So I went home for the weekend, and he was sick. Like, remind you, I'm at the point in this relationship where I'm just like completely over this dude, and I'm just like, yo, like, go your ways and I'll go mine. You're out there, you're obviously doing You're obviously doing you. You had a whole child in our relationship. So just leave me alone. Just let me be, please. So I go home for the weekend, and all right, so I had to change the battery and get Mari something to eat so that hopefully he can stay quiet. So where was I? So he called me and he asked me if I could assist him, go with him to the emergency room, and I told him no, have one of your other bleeps assist you. A few hours after that, he ended up coming to my house. He came to my house. He was so extra. He was being so extra, it's not even funny. He was throwing up. He was crying. He was doing all types of nonsense so that I could sympathize with him. It wasn't up until like in the afternoon is when I decided, okay, I'm gonna go with him. He's here, he's throwing up, like blood and all types of stuff was happening, and I was just like, okay, I'll go with you. I went with him to the emergency room. We were there. We were there until about maybe 8, 9 o'clock. I don't even recall the time frame because this happened so long ago. We were there until late. We got back to my house, and he ended up spending the night in my room on the floor because I didn't want him to sleep on my bed. Or I think he slept in my brother's room, my little brother's room at the time. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I know like the following morning when he woke up, he was in my brother room. So the following morning, now he got out my brother room, he came in my room, and he was like, he was asking me to come to go to his place. I declined. I do not want to go with you to your place. I'm like, no thank you, sir. Go ahead and call one of your other bleeps and have them meet you there. In the afternoonish, he came back bugging me, and nagging, and I kept saying, no, I am not going with you. Eventually, he was just like, I'ma just go home. He went home, and on his way home, he was calling me, he was texting me, he was like, please come over, come help me. The least you can do is come make me some soup. And I'm like, the least I can do? Like, what do I owe you? I owe you nothing at all. I don't have to do anything for you, sir. So it wasn't until like later on that day, towards the night, was when I was like, all right, let me go help him. Because he lived with his two sisters. I was asking him like, where the hell are they? Like, have them help you. He was like, they weren't there. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go help him. I went over there now. I made the soup. After making the soup, I take the soup to his room and I placed it on his bed, and I was like, here you go. I was like, here's your soup. He was like, can you feed it to me? And I'm like, you're not a child, you can feed yourself. Like, when I'm through with the situation, I'm like completely done. And I guess like he wasn't loving my attitude, but my attitude was a reaction of the things that you were doing. So what else were you expecting from me? You can't expect to treat someone a certain way and then expect them to be all sweet and nice and kind to you, when all you've done is bring hurt to that person. When I told him I wasn't feeding him the soup, I also got my things together. Like, I was getting my jacket, and I think I had grabbed my phone and my car keys, my truck keys, and I was like, I'm out. I made you the soup. Here you go. I'm leaving. I'm going back home. Why did I tell him that? That was like the wrong thing to say. That like triggered something within him. When I said that and he saw me getting my things together, I ended up making it to the front door. Where his room is, let me see if I could give you guys some visuals. It's like a great little distance before you actually get to the passage door. It's like, all right. It's like, this is the hallway. You come down this hallway, and over here to the right or the left is the kitchen. And then you keep going into like the left again, there's like a bathroom, and to the right there's a room, and to the left there's another room. So, and this is his room. I came all the way from there and made it to the front door. Now I'm smiling and laughing about this situation now is because like I lived through it. And I'm glad that I can actually like smile and laugh about it. Like, when all this stuff happened, it took me a while to get over it. I felt depressed. I was sad. I was blaming myself. I was going through so many different emotions. So I'm unlocking the door, and all I feel is someone pulling me from behind, like so hard, yanking me. So I ended up having like the door cracked open, and I started screaming help. There was a guy there that was actually going into his apartment, and this dude didn't even help me. He did not help me. He didn't ask if I was okay. He wasn't like trying to knock on the door to see like what was going on. As you can see, like, we were tussling. Something was going on. It was obvious. Like, Stevie Wonder could see that something was going on. This dude showed no type of remorse, like no type of concern as to what was going on. Like, that's how people in New York are. Like, they don't even care. They just mind their business and go on about their day. So now he yanks me back in and shuts the door. We're standing at the door going back and forth, and I'm like, let me go, I want to go home. At this point I have like tears in my eyes because I know like we're about to like go at it, and I don't even know what's going to happen. Like I was in fear for my life. So we're standing at the door and we're going back and forth. Like I'm like yelling at him, he yelling at me, he's telling me to go back in the room. You're not going anywhere, like who told you you can leave, yada yada yada. And I was just like, I was thinking like, this is crazy. The whole time I was home I was thinking I'm not going to come over here, and then I end up coming, and now look, you're here and we're about to fight. You're supposed to be sick. Where did all this strength come from? I look at my phone now and I'm getting ready to call 911. I'm getting ready to call 911, call somebody to help me. My phone has absolutely no service. The whole time, every other time that I've been to this apartment, I've always had service on my phone. But this one time, my phone had absolutely no service. So now, he just kind of like blacked. It got crazy. I'm not gonna go into details about that, but then after that, in order for him to stop putting his hands on me, I was like, I love you. I was saying his name and I was like, please stop. I was like, okay, I'll spend the night, we'll make this work. He ended up dragging me back to the room. When we got back into the room again, I was sitting up against the wall. I was sitting because he had a window, and I was trying to see if my phone was gonna regain service. I was trying to see if my phone would regain its service, and the whole time I was in there, it didn't. I was in the room like this the whole night by the window, like waiting for my phone to regain service. And it did not know. Like I had no type of messages, no, I couldn't make any phone calls, like nothing was coming in, nothing was going out. So I can't even remember if he fed himself. He ended up drinking the soup that I made, and he was like on the bed, and he was saying, look what you made me do. Like I had bruises. He was like, look what you made me do, this is all your fault. If you would have listened, I wouldn't have did this to you. And the whole time I'm thinking, I just can't wait for daylight to hit so that I could get the fuck out of here. As soon as there was some type of light outside, I was like, all right. I was like, all right. I gave him a kiss and I was like, I'm gonna go now. And he allowed me to leave. And he was like, he'll call me later. I got out the apartment and I shut the door. And I'm now walking to the elevator. And guess what? My phone regained service. I can now make phone calls and send out text messages. At that point, I remember thinking, unfreaking believable. Like, I was like, this is unbelievable. How is it that the whole time I'm in there, I couldn't make any phone calls or send out any text message, but as soon as I step out, my phone regained services. So I ended up getting on the elevator. No, I didn't even wait for the elevator. I took the stairs and then I got in my truck. And as soon as I got in my truck, I called AT&T. No, I called T-Mobile because that's what I had at the time. I called T-Mobile and I changed my number. I went home, packed my bags, and I left. I didn't even tell my mom I was leaving. I called her. I didn't even go say bye to my mom. I called her on the phone and I was like, Ma, I'm leaving. If Quincy called you, let him know that the command called and they need me back as soon as possible because we're getting underway. And I told her that's exactly what she needed to say to him. She was like, what's going on? What happened? I was like, nothing. I'm just gonna head back and I'll call you when I reach. So that entire ride I kept blaming myself. I kept asking, like, what did I do to deserve this? I kept thinking, like, man, this is so crazy. The thing is, I got all the signs, and I kept giving this dude chances after chances after chances after chances. And if it wasn't for that experience, I would have kept giving him chances after chances after chances after chances, because I was stupid for this dude. Like, I was crazy in what I thought was love, and I kept allowing him to do the things that he was doing to me. He was disappearing, he was putting his hands on me, he would ask for forgiveness every time it happened, and he would just make his way back into whatever it was that we had. And I allowed him to do it for, I wouldn't say the entire 8 years, but I'm gonna say maybe for 4 years. 4 years of the times that we were actually together, I allowed him to do these things. I learned a lot from that relationship, and I learned that if you allow people to do, if you allow the things that you allow people to do to you, they will continue to do it without remorse. They will do it until you put a stop to it. The reason why I say that the military saved my life was because if I was home, if I was living at home, I know for a fact it wouldn't have ended the way it did. Because for one, he's very, 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 very persistent. Very, very, very persistent. Even after we broke up, he would go to my house faithfully. I don't know if it's because he was trying to run into me or whatever the case was. But it came to the point where I was just like, Ma, you cannot keep allowing him to come to the house. Like, what if I'm there and he comes over? Like, it has to stop. But it kept on going for like a while. Eventually I forgave him. There was a point where we were actually trying to be cordial, but of course he has a very disrespectful mouth, so I had to tell him, you know what, we can't be friends, let's just cut all ties, let's just end it altogether, because obviously something is wrong with you, and I'm not going to keep dealing with you and whatever demons you're dealing with. So we cut all ties. He's still running to like my mom and my brother, and he tells them that he misses me and he wished we were together and all types of stuff. But I would never ever, you know what, I said that I would never use that again, but I will not put myself in that situation again. Anyway, that basically wraps up how the military saved my life. Domestic abuse is real, and if you are being abused by someone that you're in a relationship with, you need to get out as soon as possible, because that's not love. Even though we think that's how that person is showing us love, it's definitely not love. I thought it was love. I thought he just loved me so much, and that's the reason why he's putting his hands on me. Like, I kept giving his action a reason for doing what he was doing, and that is wrong. That is not how a relationship is supposed to be. Stop giving reasons to a person's action. Whatever someone is doing to you, that's something that they're dealing with, and only they can fix it. You can't fix that person. So you need to get out. Get out, get out, get out. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you guys are enjoying the story time, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Do have more stories to share. After that relationship, I was never in another abusive relationship, so that's that. Do have other stories to share, because there are things that I told myself that once it happened, I'm not dealing with it anymore. You show me who you are, and I'm gonna show you that I will leave expeditiously. Okay? But yeah, on that note, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so that you are officially a part of my journey.